Okay, let's talk New York Mets baseball. We were back in beautiful Citi Field for game two of this three-game series versus the Padres. Mets coming off a 5-0 shutout in the first meeting, looking for their second win. But unfortunately, the series is now tied 1-1 with Padres taking the second game 4-2. Mets are now back at 500 for the season at 6-6. In my opinion, David Peterson pitched a hell of a game. He pitched 5 innings, 6 hits, two earned run, excuse me, 2 walks and 6 Ks. Not bad at all, if you ask me. Even though he'll be credited with the loss, I think he did wonderful in this game. I think he deserves a lot of credit. I think he deserves a lot of respect for this game. He did a great job. In my opinion, offense was an issue with this game. We saw Pete Alonso miss an opportunity to clean up the bases in the first. Francisco Alvarez, he's the new guy. He's a little too anxious, but his will to be there, his will to want to play is great, but I think it's causing him to make mistakes. Let's break this down really quick, and then we'll move on. Okay, let's go with the top of the first. David Robinson gets off to a great start, 3 up, 3 down. Bottom first, bases loaded. Nimmo, Marte, Lindor. The first three in the lineup were on base, bases loaded, no outs. We saw Pete Alonso go down swinging, our cleanup guy. He's supposed to go in there and knock a few of those in. Mark Canha grounds into a double play, missed opportunity. We failed to capitalize. That's the end of the inning. Second, Robinson had a shaky inning. The second inning was a little bit shaky for him, had runners on first and third, but he was able to survive the inning with no runs scored. Not much offense from the boys in blue. In the second inning, they went 3 up, 3 down. Third inning, David Peterson has a 6-pitch inning, 3 and out to retire the side. 6-pitch inning. This is why I say he did great. He did a wonderful job. If you're getting in and out of somewhere with a 6-pitch inning, you're doing what you're supposed to do. And I mean, what more can you say? No noise really made in the third offensively. Only 1 hit going into the fourth. It's still a scoreless game at this point. Fourth, top of the fourth, Peterson still looking good. Gets out of the inning easily, no problems. Bottom of the fourth, Lindor hits a lead-off single. Alonso singles to right field. We still have no outs. Alonso goes to try to steal second base here in the fourth and gets picked off. Actually, excuse me. He gets picked off. They're on first base. Lindor was kind of prancing around, I guess maybe trying to distract the pitcher over there on third base. And Alonso got picked off. He got caught napping. So, he was taken out there. Mark Canha had a sacrifice fly. Lindor goes on to score. The Mets are now up 1-0 in the fourth. Fifth, Peterson got into trouble. Padres put up 2 runs off a Manny Machado double, and he was able to retire the side after that with a strikeout. Padres go up 2-1. No real threat from us offensively in the fifth. The Blue Hat Bullies were quiet in the fifth once again. Top of the sixth, Peterson is on the mound again. He gets the first 2 outs, but then he gets pulled after he gives up a single to right field. Then Reyes takes over, and he retires the side on a ground ball to McNeil at second. Once again, in the sixth inning, no real offense coming from our side. Not much going on. Top of the seventh, Denny Reyes is on the mound again, handles everything well, and gets out of the inning without much trouble or pressure. Padres are still leading 2-1. At the bottom of the seventh, Jeff McNeil singles to right field. Nothing else really moving offensively, and then we head into the eighth. Now, let's go into the eighth inning. The eighth inning was definitely an exciting inning. This is where I would say the Blue Hats threatened big time and really, started to cause a problem and started to make San Diego sweat just a little bit. Top of the eighth, Brooks Raley takes the mound. He hits a batter, but ends up getting out of the inning without really, too much damage. Nothing really happens. It's still 2-1 Padres. At the bottom of the eighth, Escobar walks. Tim LaCastro comes up and pinch runs for Escobar. LaCastro still second. We now have a runner in scoring position with Francisco Alvarez at the plate. Alvarez is a big hitter. He goes on to strike out. He was a big hitter in the AAAs, but like I said, he's having a hard time with his bat so far after his move up. I think he's just a little bit too anxious. He's too excited, but hopefully he can get that together and we'll be okay. Nimmo is up next and is walked. We now have runners on first and second. Sterling Marte grounds to infield, and LaCastro is out at third. That was a weird play if you watched the game. Both of the runners were LaCastro tried to get to third, turned around and ran back to second. Both players were on second. So LaCastro was tagged out before he went back to the base. So he was called out. If he had made it back to the base, then excuse me, hold on for a second. Sorry about that. Then Nimmo would have been out because he advanced to second and LaCastro didn't advance to third. It's a weird rule. Excuse me. Hopefully I'm getting that correct. I know I probably butchered it a little bit. I apologize. But LaCastro was called out because he was tagged out before he made it back to the base. So he was out and not Nimmo. Lindor goes on to strike out, retiring the side. And now we're going into the ninth. It's top of the ninth. Dennis Santana takes over for Brooks Raley. Santana gives up a 2-run home run, and the damage was done. That's pretty much it. That was all she wrote right there. At the bottom of the ninth, Alonso walks. Canna gets hit by a pitch, but he swung as he got hit, so it was considered a strikeout. He goes down swinging. McNeil goes on to walk, runners on first and second. Tommy Pham gets to the plate and drives in a single run on a single to center field. Tomas Nido comes in to pinch hit for Luis Guillorme and grounds out to the pitcher Josh Hader. We have runners on second and third with Francisco Alvarez up to bat once again. Alvarez, like I said, struggling offensively, gets up to the plate and starts chasing fastballs. They're high, they're in his eyes, and he's in love with them. He strikes out. That ends the game. Alvarez is too excited. Hopefully he relaxes it. Buck talked about it a little bit after the game. He said that his intent is well, talking about Alvarez, and, he enjoys his intent. He enjoys that he's really trying hard to get out there and make something happen. He just may have to calm down a little bit. But all in all, it was a great game. I won't consider it a bad loss. Mets weren't as sharp as game one, but put up a good fight. They weren't beat down by the Padres, so I'm okay with the loss. They just have to start capitalizing on runners in scoring position. At the end of the game, they had a RISP of 1 for 8. If we get that number up, that'll make a huge difference in the results of their game. All in all, a good showing for my Blue Hats, man. I'm happy with them. It's okay. Series is tied 1-1. They're still in second in the NL East behind Atlanta, who is 8-4. And also just a really quick honorable mention to the Rays, who are 11-0. Imagine that. Hell of a start for those guys. If they keep that up, we know what series they'll be in later on in the season. Anyway, like I said, good game for the Mets. Game 3 is today at 1:10 p.m. at Citi Field. If we can get the win, we take the series. And what more can you ask for? I appreciate everybody's support. Stay here. Stick with me. This is where you need to come from if you want the Mets information. Don't forget to check out the community section as well. I post information there as well. And just want to build a little community here. If you love the Mets, check it out. Stay tuned. Let's go Mets.